Hello everybody! Today we are back with another custom build for a customer on this Stumpjumper Pro. We're also back from an amazing road trip from Denver back to Minnesota. Did a whole bunch of picking, so there's a ton of new parts, including a ton of new NOS parts up on the shop. There'll be a link right here to check that out for your own builds. But now we're going to jump into this Stumpjumper. We're going to be building up this yellow Stumpjumper Pro with a mix of parts that I have over here. We're going to be doing a Dior XT M750 build. So we have rear derailleur, brakes, shifters and brake levers. We have a crank set, and then we'll be using this red Judy XC, Easton stem, race face bar, got some nice ESI grips, 9-speed chain and cassette, nice SRAM PG 970, 1132, SRAM 9-speed chain. We even have some nice specialized tubes, and then for tires, we're going to be using a specialized, what is this one? Team Control with the yellow stripe, and a specialized Dirt Control with the red stripe. Again, we're really kind of playing off the red and yellow on the build. And we have these really nice Sun CR18 red anno rims with XTR M950 hubs. So it's going to be a fun red and yellow build. Probably mix in some red and yellow housing just to really kind of finish it off. And so yeah, let's get into it. First things first, we're going to put the headset in so that we can put the fork on, then we can get the tires on, we can get the wheels on, and we're just going to start building it up, and then we'll get her cabled and it'll be ready to go. And then this will actually get test ridden, taken back apart partially to get shipped to the customer. So let's get building. Starting by putting in this FSA headset. I want to make sure I get the logo where I want it. So it's very important. We want that logo right in the middle, which right there looks good. Looks pretty good. Yeah, close to perfect. It is at this point that I have realized that the steer on the Judy is going to be too short, and we are going to have to go back to the drawing board on what fork we're going to use. So I sent some options to the customer, and I'm just going to wait to hear back, and we'll move on with the build and come back to the fork once we know which one we're going to use. So next, we're going to be putting on the XT V brakes. So I put the pins in the middle holes for both brakes. Okay, we have the bottom bracket we need, Octalink version 2, 68 by 113. So we're going to get this threaded in. We had already prepped this frame before we listed it, so everything is in good condition. All the threads are good. Just working on getting these cups all put in. And we'll be able to put the bottom bracket on here. And then we'll be able to put the crankset on. So this will make it some progress. Okay, now we have our nice, it's in good shape. A little bit of, heel rub, but the chain rings are good and cleaned up nice. So if I measured everything correctly, this is gonna fit. Cranks are on. We gotta find a front derailleur. So pretty sure it is 34.9. Get the handy dandy caliper out. Yep, 34.9. So let's see. Top pull, top pull. We need bottom pull. So we're still need to hunt down a front derailleur. I only have top pull and it is bottom pull. So we're just going to switch to getting the rear wheel put on. So here's our rear wheel. So here's our new SRAM cassette. Get this locked on here. Like so. We got nice XTR skewers. These rims are super cool. And I think they're gonna look great with the yellow. So now, I have a note here of what tire goes where. Doing the yellow tire in the back. So this is the team control. We always want to try to match the valve stem with the logo. What we got going on right here. Just double check. We're in the middle. There's the valve stem. There's the logo. So I got the wheel and tire on, and the wheels look great. The wheel looks great in the frame. I love the anodized. We picked this tire because of the yellow stripe. Just kind of, we're really going for the red yellow look. This is a front specific tire, but looks are more important. It'll ride fine. It is starting to get a little bit of the white, from age. You can take a brush and brush it off so it doesn't look as bad, and then obviously just riding will take it off. Now yes, that does mean the tire's aging, but again, we're kind of going more for the build, the look of the build, and this thing, is gonna be one of many in the fleet. So it's not something we're gonna worry about. We're just kind of going for this overall picture build that we're working on. So we're going to mount up the front, even though we haven't figured out the fork situation yet. We don't have pedals. He has his own pedals. I still need to track down a front derailleur. We have the rear derailleur on. We got the rear brakes on. So it's coming along. But we'll mount that front tire up, so that's ready to go. And then we're going to go dig for some bottle cages and continue putting this together. The vote is in. Because the steer on the Judy XC was too short, we are going to use the red SID. So we just need to switch the crown race, and then we'll get this in and we'll start putting all the rest of the parts on. We will get this build going. It's already looking good. I just got the front tire mounted and brushed off so that it looks a little less white. We have the SID. We already have our headset in. Just gonna push this up through here. I believe we're gonna need some spacers, which is nice. Oh, just one little spacer, 1 2.5, and we'll be good. We're gonna run the spacer under the stem. It's exciting because now we're gonna be able to put that front tire on. See how it looks. Oops. I'll make sure we get that FSA pointing forward. Oh, the red fork with the red wheel looks good. We got our Easton stem on. Oh, I love those red wheels, and I'm glad that they've found a good home. Cool. It is looking really nice. Next, we're gonna do the brakes. So I'm trying to decide. I have to check what colors I have. I may only have yellow. I know pretty sure I have yellow and red brake housing, but I'm not sure if I have yellow and red shifter housing. So we're gonna have to go double check that. Otherwise, we'll just do maybe gray shifter housing to match the gray. The frame has gray decals on the top of the down tube and top tube, so maybe gray shifter housing, and then we could do colored brake housing. But there's our brakes. While we're up here in the front, we'll get the handlebar on. Race face Evolve with some rise. This one has some red in it, which is why we picked it. We're really trying to go with that, as much red and yellow as we can get. We also have our ST M750s. Some rubbing alcohol. I like to slide the grips on now because that helps me pinpoint where the I need to set up the brake levers and the shifters at. I'm a big fan, if you haven't been able to tell, of the ESI grips. They're comfortable and they look good, and they just, you know, the only negative is they are a pain to get off, but they're cheap enough. If you have to cut them, it's not the end of the world. But for sure, the trick to getting them on is liberal amounts of rubbing alcohol. Once we get the front derailleur, that'll be the last piece of the puzzle, but we're gonna get the brakes cabled now, and then we will do the rear derailleur. And I've looked for a front derailleur, but we're gonna look again. There's a lot of bikes in the shop, so there's probably one that has one on it. I don't have a loose one, but we will see what we can dig up. Let's go look for colored brake housing. So we have yellow brake housing, 2 different colors. I'm thinking this color in my hand. I'm not sure if they don't look too different in the camera, but they are different. So we got yellow, and then we have, ooh, we got red. It's a little faded. this stuff's bright red, but this stuff is old and not that bright. That's more pinkish. Oh, there's more of the same red, so maybe we'll have enough. We got our housing and our noodle. This yellow housing is gonna look really good. I'm excited. Colored housing, you can really set a bike off. That looks good. Yellow and red. They look real good. I always make sure to kind of open up your ends. Quick little step makes everything easier. In my opinion, these V-brakes, these ST500s and the XT ones, the XTR ones, are some of the nicest, like, feeling V-brakes. I mean, we just got, like, the lever pull feels tight the whole time. It's not a sloppy lever, and I kind of like that it's just right away it feels like you're gripping something on the lever. I think we're gonna have to change the hole we have these brakes put in because they just don't have enough tension. And we're at the pad is not hitting either. You'll see the pad is hitting really low on the tire, so I'm gonna change that right now. But then, so the only way to get a good pad angle is if we do the middle. So what we ended up doing is I just bent the spring back and up because it was kind of low on the hook. So now it's up high on the hook, and as you'll see, we have plenty of spring in the lever. So we're gonna do the same. We just gotta move this one back to the middle. And we're gonna have to do the same setup on this side. Ooh, they feel so good. Now that we have the brakes done, we're gonna move on to the shifters. And we're gonna use red housing. Right there, where I'm pointing, it's a little plastic Phillips head cover. We're gonna unscrew that, and that will be the port that you put your shifter cable in. Looking good. Repeat that. That's looking good. So now we're just gonna repeat that with the next shifter. We want our loops to be the same length, so I just measure off of the old loop. And that's the way to get your two loops to be as similar as possible. There we go. One last piece of housing, because we don't need any more on the front derailleur, even though we don't have a front derailleur yet, but it's bottom pull, so let me see, like right there. I'm really liking how this is all coming together. The colored housing is really tying the build together. I love the wheel set. I like the bright color of the frame. I think the silver M750 group set was a great choice, and it's coming together nicely. Okay. Big thing now is we need to track down that front derailleur. So we have an option. One option would be this XT. This is a dual pole, 9-speed. It's a 761, but it is the right color and pretty much the right logo. So that could function. It is 34.9. I don't have any of the 750 ones. So I don't know if we want to should acquire one of this. Will look right on there. Okay, so the logos are the same. They're the right coloring. The only issue being that the placement may interfere with our bottle cage. I'm gonna bolt this on and we're gonna see where it is and decide what we think once it's on there. It's running spacers behind the bottle cage is not the end of the world, but we just don't want the cage to interfere with the bottle cage. A top swing was probably what was meant for this frame, but we're gonna see if this works. Well, what do we think? Do we think that looks good? I've ordered the M750 front derailleur. I think it's gonna work better with, it's gonna look better and just work better than this one is. And so that's on order, and we will be back on the front derailleur when I have the new front derailleur right here. And we are back. The new derailleur has arrived, and we got a red, like a minty red lizard skin chain guard, which is gonna go good with our red and yellow theme we have going on. So we're gonna put this on. We're gonna put the front derailleur on. Customer always uses saddle and pedals, but I'm gonna put the saddles and pedals on so I can take it for a test ride. Go give it a test ride, take some final photos, and then be ready to box this thing up and ship it off to California. So let's get it knocked out. Let's put this on first. There we go. Chain guard in place. And the nice thing about this derailleur we're going to be putting on is it's not going to interfere. It's not going to interfere with the bottle cage bolts either, so we won't have to worry about that anymore. We have our new one, which is in good condition. M750. This is the style that I believe should be on here, so this should make it shift better. Oh, so much better. Instantly so much better on the adjustment. Just a little limit screw work. Awesome. Shifting is dialed in. Just gonna trim the cable, cap it, put a saddle on so that I can test ride along with some pedals. And then we'll go test ride it. We'll go test ride it so that I can dial in the cockpit. And this thing will be ready to go. Okay, so the way I adjust the controls is I get the bike on the ground, and I can already tell that they are too high up. Not even sitting in the saddle, just standing here. So I'm going to preliminarily adjust them to where I think they need to go. Just about there. Now obviously the customer will dial these in to where they find it comfortable, but we want to get it into the ballpark. It's real nice when the brake lever and the shifter are one, and then you do want to try to get them even on both sides. You also want to check your headset is tight enough, which is another thing to do. Easiest to do when the bike's on the ground. Way to do that is to grab your front brake, put your fingers down here on the headset, rock the bike back and forth so I can tell this one is a little loose. So just give that a little tighten, and then tighten your stem bolts back up. Maybe not enough there. There's dialing in the suspension now. This is a 2nd gen SID, so we need the adapter, not the best ball needle thing. Okay, that feels good. I just came back from the test ride and I am amped on this thing. It rides amazing. Everybody always says how great these Stumpies ride, and it's true. I mean, maybe you're not a Specialized fan, maybe you're not an aluminum fan, but they ride great. And that was just on I have like a little street slash bike path slash this like grassy climb in a park I do. I should really film it, but I forgot. But next time, lap that I do, and it was excellent. It rode great, so I'm super amped, and it looks as good as it rides, and it looks amazing. I love the yellow and blue. I gotta give it a little bit of wipe down before I box it up and ship it off, but it turned out amazing. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It means a lot. We have tons of great videos on builds and how-tos. If you're working on building your special project, check out our website, Gringinger Cycles, for tons of great parts for vintage mountain and road bikes. If you're looking to get a build done, reach out to us. My email will be below, or you can give us a call, and we would love to build a bike for you also. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.